YouTube, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Do you guys enjoy those light fixtures in the back? I kind of left them up from the last video that I recorded, and I woke up one morning and I, saw it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep them. I feel like a Visco girl. All jokes aside, welcome to today's video. This will be part of the self-portrait series that is ongoing on this channel. If you haven't seen any of the 7 that I've made, I will link the latest one up here in this little annotation. But today is self-portraits 8, which is going to be super different actually from the other 7, because the other 7 I created new photos on the spot. For this one, we're going to be digitally illustrating, digitally remixing, cartooning yourself. I don't really know, but you could tell from the thumbnail that we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be taking 3 photos, maybe 3 photos, and illustrating a little bit of cartoonish looks on my iPad. You can follow along on your MacBook or on your phone or on whatever device you pick. You can use Procreate or Photoshop. I'm going to be using Photoshop. And this thing that we're going to be doing today is something that I used to do in college because it reminded me of when I was growing up. I had a very vivid imagination. I didn't have that many friends to hang out with. So I would actually imagine cartoon characters running around my room that I would interact with and talk with. It's not crazy. I was a kid. All right, that's cute. But there was an actual cartoon that reminded me of that imagination growing up. And the show is called The Amazing World of Gumball. I don't know if any of you watched it. I think it aired in the early 2010s or the late 2000s. It was on Cartoon Network. But pretty much the art style that they used in this cartoon was taking pictures of a high school actually out here in San Francisco, Abraham Lincoln High School, and they would just animate 2-dimensional cartoon characters, and that's how I grew up imagining, friends growing. Dang, dude, that's sad. But anyways, that is just some background information on what kind of arts we're gonna be making today. You could call it grime art, you could call it cartooning yourself, whatever it is. We're gonna be jumping right into it now. Alright guys, so we're about to start the screen recording on the iPad, so make sure you pull up whatever software you're going to be using and a photo that you're going to be working on. And before we begin, I just want to preface that I am not a professional sketch artist or an illustrator or anything. I have no background in formal teaching. I taught everything by myself or watching other people. So what I'm about to do may make you cringe, like there could be some kind of shortcut of me doing this, but bear with me because I have zero knowledge of Photoshop, zero knowledge of Procreate or any software that we're using. I'm just gonna do it my way, my getaway, so there's that. Alright, so I'm going to be opening up this photo right here. This very serious black and white photo of myself. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that every Photoshop artist is going to tell you the same thing that I'm about to tell you, which is start a new layer. So we're going to double tap and call this outline, rename, just because we're going to be drawing a thick black border around my face. We're going to be reanimating my face for this part. So I'm going to be selecting the paintbrush tool right here. I'm going to be messing up a lot during this, so bear with me. So I'm just going to draw, actually let's do halfway on my face. Let's do a little bit of, oh, already messed up. Start from my widow's peak, just go down a little bit, right down the middle of my face. Stop next to my freaking weird beard, goatee-ish thing. Gonna go along my jawline here. Oh my gosh, this is gonna kill me. Alright, so we outlined the more shadowy side of my face because it's a lot more grim looking. We're going to reanimate that. Alright, so on the same outline layer, I highly suggest making your eyebrows or your eyes right now, or filling in the nose holes or the details of the nose, because those belong in the outline in my opinion. So I'm just going to do that real quick right now. Alright, so far this just looks like a bully drawing, something that someone would just draw over someone's face in a textbook back in elementary or middle school. But don't worry, it's going to look better. We're going to start a new layer. I'm going to call mine gold. Hold on. Let me drag this below the outline because I don't want it to show above it. So I'm going to double tap that. I'm going to rename it gold because that's the color I'll be filling in for my flat primary color. So make sure that you have your primary color set. I'm going to be using gold as I said before. So let's just start filling it in. I'm going to increase this brush size so I can make it a little bit more efficient. Alright, so as you can see, as we're filling it in, because the gold layer is below the outline layer on the stack, it won't go over the outlines. If it were the other way around, those outlines would be buried underneath this gold paint that I'm putting down right now. I think there is a more efficient way of doing this, where you use the pen tool, and then you just I think use the bucket tool to fill in anything within a border. But I'm doing it this way because I actually love the satisfaction of filling in parts of a drawing like this. It reminds me of like the coloring book days. Right now, I'm listening to J. Cole's interlude single right now. He is dropping his newest album pretty soon, so I'm really excited. The last track he dropped was called Snow on the Bluff, which is his response to not knowing what to say during the George Floyd protests and people calling him out for his silence on Twitter and social media, and him admitting that it's not easy to come up with something to say on the spot sometimes, but admitting that he should have said something anyways, or you know, just admitting his own faults. This is completely irrelevant to the tutorial, by the way. All right, so just to like give yourself a little bit of a progress update, you could start toggling your layers to show like, hey, like you're making some progress. That's what I like to do to encourage myself since I'm not a professional illustrator. So gold layer by itself looks kind of stupid, but with the outlines, it looks pretty dope. Without the golds, looks pretty stupid, but together, we're doing good. I'm actually going to add in the outline layer like details about my ear because it looks kind of weird just having a little oval. Oops. Little oval without any details showing that it's an ear. All right, so this is the part where the grime in the Grime Art comes in, and we're going to add a new layer. We're going to call it Grime. Doesn't necessarily have to be underneath the outline layer, but I'm just going to put it underneath because, you know, just for consistency's sake. But basically all you do is just draw, or I'm going to use a thinner brush actually. Just draw like slime oozing down my face or down your face or whatever object you're drawing. That's where the grime is going to come in. Just a little fun art style. You could play with different hardness of the brush. Do whatever you please. Alright, so I finished my little ooze slimes. You could take however much time you want to do on that, or add it all over the place, or just add a few ones. But we're going to add a new layer. We're going to call it shading. I'm going to call mine gold shade just so it's consistent with the colors that I'm using. Gold shade will go underneath grime and go above gold. So this part, you go back to your primary color that you're using for your flat color, and then click it. And then what I do is just I drag it down just a little bit lower than where it was on the color board, because in my mind that logically makes sense. Like, lower in the value or lower in the color board just shows a darker version of your color. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. And then you're going to start shading where there's actual shadows on your face in the original photo. So I'm going to toggle my gold layer off and the grime layer off. And you can see that there is a little bit of shading underneath my lip, underneath my nose, and underneath my eyebrow. So I'm going to fill it in right there. That just looks like I have a really nasty nose booger line around my nostril. I'll decide if I want to keep that later or not. I think it looks fine. So now I'm going to draw little shading underneath each slime. So, you know, to kind of add some effect on that. Okay, so I'm getting a pretty holistic view of the entire Grime Art right now. It looks pretty good. I'm going to do some adjustments, like the little drawn eye that I did. It looks a little bit too high relative to my real eye, so I'm going to erase it and then try to relocate it a little bit lower. Maybe add some more slime. The little shadow around my nostril still looks like a little poo-poo stain, but we'll try to get rid of that or modify that to make it look better. But so far it's looking pretty good. Hopefully you're at a stage where you're like proud of it. Remember, like, you can still toggle between the different layers to kind of show like that progression, to encourage like that what you're doing is kind of cool. So I'm just going to do a little bit of modification, then we'll continue from there. All right, so I fixed the eye. I'm just going to keep the nose shading just as is. But what I'm going to do right now is actually break the border like right in the middle. And I'm going to actually have the slime come towards the bottom left corner of my face. So on your screen, bottom right corner. Oh, just to like play around with that. Right now it looks pretty good. Oh my god, I just drew all over my face. Right now it looks pretty good, so I'm just actually going to export this real quick. All right, so now I have one version of this saved on my computer. We're going to actually modify this now to have it go on another corner of my face. So with the outline layer, I'm going to actually erase right here. midway through right here to kind of open up the gates for that continuation of the grime. Sorry guys. And then go back to outline. Then we're going to continue this right around my jawline. How do I make it look like sliming down my face here? I'll just do this. Yeah, not too bad. Then we'll go back to gold shade, gold layer. Okay, it doesn't look that bad. It looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more boldness on the downstrokes of the slime on the corner over here, just to add that effect. I'm gonna go back to the outline layer, switch to black, paint again, add a little bit more. Oh my god, too big. There we go. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Oh, yep. Oh yeah, I really like that. It's dope. Alright, so it's probably bugging you guys that I didn't finish my mouth or my nose, so I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna get rid of the gold shade. Oh my god, this looks so gross with the gold shade, so let me just finish the lip right here. Oh gosh, the thickness is all messed up. And my face is like tilted. Why did I do that? And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, my finished piece. I'm very proud of it. This is actually a little bit different from what I have been doing, which is I usually cover my entire face or cover someone's entire face with grime. But this time I want to do a little bit of a partial one, a little bit of experimentation in a live video recording, which is kind of risky, but it turned out pretty good. I'm going to show you other examples of grime art that I've done in the past or as of like yesterday or 2 days ago with the, I don't know, development of this video idea. Have fun with whatever you're going to be doing with your self-portraits. This is a fun way to modify it and also have fun expressing another side of creativity that maybe you have never experienced before. All right, so that's all I have for you guys today. I will see you guys and girls in the next video. Peace.